What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol RWLK for Rewalk Robotics. On the left-hand side, we're looking at the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. First things first, we have not covered this one yet on the channel. Obviously, there was a massive move to the upside on today's session, all punctuated by good volume, but what we want to do before we dive into nuance on the 30-minute is just take a look from the daily and see, what this has a history of doing. If we scrunch the chart up, you can clearly see big momentum move to the upside. That's when a lot of those momentum runners were happening, those big SPAC names, those big SPAC runs, right? That's all when that was going on. And if we just take a look actually through that, you'll see that volume plays a large role in how this one moves. If volume tapers off, I would expect this thing to go sideways and or lower. And obviously today's volume overshadows that of everything that we've seen in the past. So please keep an eye on volume if you decide to trade this one as we move forward here. Coming in for obvious areas of support and resistance, double top from in here, this prior structural area also support. Let's extend that to the left. Nice. And then to the upside, what else are we seeing here? So resistance, this zone in here, right? I would argue that that prior support should act as resistance, this area in here as well. And now we'll sort of, yeah, I like that. So we're going to go here as well at 173. I had to think about that one for a second. Now I know it looks like a lot of random lines through this here, but let's take a look through the lens of the 30, see if any of them held and if we can adjust, right? So I would say that this 206, not so important, right? We'll get rid of that. You can clearly see though, kind of amazing how this works, that this pullback did hold one of those areas there at 193. We also had resistance up around 222, right? So I do like those areas here. Not so interested in that 173, the one we had to think about there. And underneath, obviously, if we move back down towards those lows, the gap will fill under today's low, which is, if we adjust this lower, at 150 down towards 141. Again, I'm not saying that has to happen, but I am saying from a structural perspective, that's how you would look at that. So very cool how we just pared that down to a couple levels, right? Now let's go in with the Fibonacci's, as we always do when we get expansion of range from the low to the high of the first move. And what you'll notice is that we did respect that 38.2/50 as well as prior structure, right? So that does strike me as important and an area we should keep in mind. The first move, I would argue, was extremely healthy. We'll clean up that fib, this time coming in from the low of the entire day all the way on up to the high of the entire day. And what we'll notice is that we actually have some pretty tight confluence with our 61.8 here at that 193 and the 38.2 here at that 222. So I would say structure is going to overshadow our Fibonacci's in this case. Not so concerned with those and really just going to, again, keep an eye on that 222 and 193. In the post market here, we are slightly pulling back. You can see that we're trading 226 by 227, which is, just above this area right in here. We're not, smack at the highs anymore. So I would say the scenarios to watch out for here, number one would be consolidation here, obviously taking the break up and over the high after some structural pattern is put in. That would be the most bullish in my estimation. If we break down underneath 222, you're looking for a potential pullback by here at this 193. So be on the lookout for hammer candles, indecision dojis, right? Something that looks like this. Basically anything that makes you question, is that pullback over there? Can we flip long over the highs? Not sure where my annotations just went. Might be a little glitch there, so I can't draw going forward here, but looking for flipping long over those highs, right, to get back up into some of these areas, notably that 222 first and then today's high, right? So be very cautious on that if that's the scenario that pans out, right? Let's see if we can do this with a different tool here. Coming in, this would be the first trade to watch out for. Take some off here, then monitor for continuation C if we can get back up into those highs. If we take out 193, look out below. I do think that this is probably going to see a 100% retracement back down towards today's lows around 150, and we know what happens under that. The gap does fill down towards 141. So those are my thoughts here on some likely scenarios. If we do trade under that 193, probably just sit on hands, right? Be patient, let some structure build out. Don't go bottom fishing until we have some sort of pattern that gets put in. So if you enjoyed today's video, if you learned anything new, certainly let me know down below in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description, and all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.